Hello, Galaxy. You thought I was frozen in carbonite, but I'm not. Chris Pirillo here for the daily live Star Wars talk show. A few minutes ago, actually, let me go ahead and interrupt myself. A few seconds ago, I got a notification to let me know that I was going live, and now I'm live. That's awfully timely. A few minutes ago, I received an invitation from a Star Wars podcaster. You're gonna love this. Around the Galaxy. It's a podcast. He said, "Hey there, came across your show and wanted to know if you'd be interested in doing an episode of Around the Galaxy. I used to write for Star Wars Galaxy in the 90s, and I'm back doing a fan interview thing for a podcast." So he's interviewed like people like Jason Fry, Steve Sansweet. Uh, I don't know how I fit into all that, but I'm going to reply to him right now and say, absolutely. I hope you don't mind. So it's called Around the Galaxy. Now in my head, I got Around the World. It's not exactly the same thing as Galaxy, but yeah, I'm kind of excited. I don't get invited on a lot of different podcasts, but this ought to be good here. Absolutely. And I would be happy to return the offer. Okay, there we go. I've now officially networked with Around the Galaxy podcast. Nice to see you, Dimitri, and Talking Star Wars, and everybody else just beginning to tune in. As soon as I remember to send the message. See, that's the thing. Sometimes you type out messages and then you forget to hit send. Speaking of messages, not a lot on my radar today. My personal radar. You may have seen other things, but it was quite a jam-packed day for myself. No big news that kind of kept coming up over and over again. Even as I look at my feed now, nothing that's effectively dominated. Minus a birthday to Nathan Hamill. Happy birthday, Nathan. I know you're not watching, but that's okay. I'm not going to hold that against you or anybody else. This is probably the most relevant thing to talk about. This is a stationery set that I bought for like $2. This was a part of that Think Geek sale, and I haven't had a chance to see everything that was in it, apart from seeing the stuff online. And hey, Paul, good to see you. What other fandoms do I enjoy besides the galaxy far, far away? Ooh, so many. Can't even begin to name them, but I will. In fact, tonight I'm going to be finishing up Good Omens. I wouldn't say I'm a fan of Good Omens, but it's been a great show, and I'm going to finish what will likely be the first of many seasons, maybe just the first season, I don't know, but it's a good show. It's a well-written show, well done, well produced. The Dark Crystal, I'm a fan of that as well. I'm a fan of a lot of sci-fi movies, a lot of fantasy movies, and shows. Basically anything that's well-written, that's well-produced, that's it doesn't even have to be serious. It doesn't have to be fun. It just has to be good. Something enjoyable. Something entertaining. Something where I'm not thinking about picking up the remote control. So that to me is the hallmark of good entertainment. Like the moment I pick up my phone or a remote to kind of see what else is going on, that's how I know it's lost me. That's always been the case, no matter what it happens to be. So I don't really have, pardon me, any particular specific choices. It just kind of depends on the mood I'm in, what happens to be on. You could name a movie or show and I'd go, oh yeah, I've seen that, or I haven't seen that yet. I don't really have a top 10 though, but I mentioned The Dark Crystal because I know that the prequel Age of Resistance is coming out later this year and I'm excited for that. The next new launch is going to be Stranger Things in July, in and around July, which means when that's out, I don't know if I'm going to be doing Star Wars radar shows because I'll be watching that show. I'm going to binge that one hard. I love binging. It's like my favorite thing to do. It's like the internet's best invention is binging anything. I even though I like watching episodic content. Ooh, ow. I'm glad this is not as sharp as it could be because man, I almost sliced the tip of my finger off. That would not be good. I was just trying to cut through the clear tape, not red tape. The box is red, but the tape is not. Legion lost me in season 2. Didn't even start. Have I seen Paw Patrol? Indeed I have, and that's usually what happens when you have a 4-year-old in the house. So this set includes binder clips, 5 counts, file folders, 4 count, memo cube, 600 sheets, journal, 220 sheets, and a pen. This is actually a box that I'm kind of glad is in good shape. This box is potentially reusable. Hang on just a second. Can I get this thing off? Okay, I'm not going to worry about the wrapper. Ooh, it is taped. That's why it couldn't come off. It's taped to the side of the box. It's a nice box. Got the First Order insignia there on the other side. See, sometimes I like waiting for shows to end their run before I begin them, because if season 2 sucks compared to the first season, I don't even want to get started. So I never started with The Walking Dead. I'm kind of grateful. Never did with Dexter either. But usually what hits my radar for entertainment, I'll see it tweeted about over and over and over again. I'll see different people mention it from across my social feeds. That's why I watched recently. The one with Phoebe Waller. The one who played L3. Her for some reason I'm thinking Trash Fire is the name of the show. No, what's the name? What is the name of the show? It's all the hotness, and now I can't remember the name of the show. I just watched it. Why am I thinking Trash Fire? What's the show? You know the one. And now I can't. It'll come to me. It'll come to me in the middle of the night, I'm sure. Or maybe one of you will remember exactly what I'm talking about. Anyway, that was a good show. But only because many people in my feed were saying you need to watch it. Oh, it's great. It's great. It's great. Same thing with When They See Us. That was also fantastic. Westworld, I saw the first season. I heard the second season wasn't as great. Not worth an HBO subscription for me. But of course I did watch Game of Thrones and will likely subscribe to HBO again for the Game of Thrones prequels. Friends, I did watch, especially back in the day. Got a first order pen. Really nice. So it's a twisty. And it's red, like my favorite color of all time. So that'll find its way about. I ended up getting like 4 of these sets because they were like $2 a piece. We have the cube. First order insignia. First order. The trooper there. Same thing on the other side. Wait. All that plastic for one pin? Not quite. We also got this cube. A chance cube, if you will. Not quite. Do I have room for it? This is like my memo drawer where I keep stuff for memos. So let's see here. Will it fit in there? It fits! It fits! It fits! So that'll stay in there. Then we also have a journal. Ooh, this is really nice. I wonder if that's faux leather. Bring Order to the Galaxy. Star Wars, The Last Jedi. Very nice. That's on the back. On the front, you got the First Order insignia. Very cool. I like this. You can't have too many of these, right, laying around. Although I'm not really someone who like collects my thoughts in these journals. Hey there, Super J. We've got the First Order logo on one of the pages, but nothing opposite of that. Let's see here. Favorite Mark Hamill performance. It can be Star Wars or anything else. Man, I'm going to give it to Hamill in Jedi. Not The Last Jedi, but Return of the Jedi. That was probably my favorite Luke Skywalker growing up. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. And I know he's done a lot more than that, but I was never into Batman the Animated Series. So then we've got the binder clips, right? Or just not paper clips, what do they call them? Hang on. They called them something. They are called... Yeah, binder clips. Never mind, I got it right the first time. For some reason that like stuck with me. Star Wars fan? Oh, yeah, hello, yes, this is the Star Wars Radar Show. You heard Child's Play is really good. Yeah, the new one, but I'm not into horror movies at all. So these are nice little clips. It looks like it's got the same printing on both sides of the clips. And sometimes I even... I don't want to tear that. I'll often hold on to the packaging material if I think it could be reused. So, for example, this is kind of neat. I mean, I don't know if I necessarily collect it. Don't know if I necessarily reuse it. I don't know. If it had Vader on it, I'd hold on to it. But this, it's not exactly amazing. But you never know when you could use something like this, where you got Star Wars printed on there. There are holes from where the clips kind of cut in. But still, it's not too bad. Hey, Ryan. Good to see you virtually. I'm going to take my binder clips and figure out where I'm going to clip them. I'm going to take them downstairs. That's what I'm going to do. We'll remove the plastic and look at the folders that we have. Ooh, these are wonderful folders. Wait, hang on. Oh, dude. These are epic. Oh, cool. Oh, I love this box. Look at this box. This box is epic. Oh, this is the perfect kind of packaging. It's packaging that can be reused for something. I don't know what I'm going to use this for or where, but I think Out of all this is probably like my favorite part. The actual container itself. I love that. Oh, I love that. So then we got file folders. Unique. It looks like unique printings. Just single-sided though. We've got Kylo Ren's fighter. And see how they're like file folders, right? And the notches and the cutouts are at different locations. So we've got a TIE fighter, first order. Is that what that says, first order? In Arabash? I'd imagine that's what that is. Apparently there's a Star Wars mention in Child's Play. That would not surprise me. I love this one. The AT-ACT. And then we have another one from... I'm guessing that's Kylo Ren. I don't know my Arabash. But again, just kind of take it in context. And I bet you anything I could pick up Arabash easily. In context to things. In fact, wouldn't that be great? Why don't they have like an alphabet book? Because I've seen them do this with certain Star Wars books for kids, as I've read them through with Jedi. But why don't they have like an alphabet book that has like dog and then D-O-G in Arabash, or cat and C-A-T in Arabash? That'd be a great way to learn Arabash, I think. We got the building blocks. They were Celebration exclusives. Cost an arm. Oh wait, no, it didn't cost me more than $20. Someone had them for sale. Otherwise, it would cost $80. But you know the blocks, the alphabet blocks that you had growing up, they have the Star Wars ones, and I got them for Jedi. So we do have alphabet blocks for Arabash, but it's kind of nicer, I think, in context, like learning the words in context. Andy, the teenage boy, wants to name the doll Han. Oh, that's funny. That's even fun. That's even funnier because Mark Hamill voices Chucky. There's a movie I will probably never see. I'm not into horror at all. Never have been. Never will be. So yeah, that's I know that's the excitement for today. It was just the stationery set. Some days are slower than others, right? Let me pull up my feed, see if I'm catching anything else. And by the way, feel free to fire away, either asking questions or asserting things, anything that might have hit your radar, as I give my feed a very quick scan. I watch like social media like almost constantly. Then we also apparently have the 83rd birthday of John Corty, the director of Caravan of Courage and Ewok Adventure. Okay, that's another one. Boy, it's like a day for Star Wars birthdays. Apparently today. Had no idea. Let me go to my feed. And yeah, that's the thing, is like when there's nothing going on, sometimes you have to look for things that are going on. And I'm happy that I follow a lot of different kind of creators. I ended up retweeting someone today from the Star Wars Radar account. I don't know if I can easily pull it up here. Give me a second. Where is it? He's he hand painted. Where's the feed? Okay, apparently I'm not getting to the feed. He hand painted like the AT-AT driver, which I thought was absolutely fantastic, breathtaking, really. But apparently I'm not seeing it, and I thought I retweeted it, but maybe I didn't. I apologize. Anyway, if you saw it, great. Let me just try to verify, because apparently the retweets don't show up the way that I think they do. Oh yeah, the AT-AT driver from Alistair Eels. Let me pull it up on here. It's just easier that way. Sorry, I didn't think about doing that in the first place. There we go. So Alistair Eels. The screen is just too bright. How about that? Oh, how about that? There we go. Look at that. Just look at the craftsmanship, man. Watercolors too. I'm just a fan of the AT-AT driver though. Like I'm all about the AT-AT driver. In fact, I may find out if he's selling it. I probably should find out. This is AT-AT driver vintage Star Wars toy illustration, and I think it's like an actual physical illustration. Sale price. I'm tweeting right now. I'm asking sale price. Because if it's original, I'd be happy. But he also did. It looks like it's hand painted because he's got actual physical rulers and whatnot. So there's C-3PO and R2-D2. The detail is rather astounding. Yeah, see, I like the original art that people do. There's the Gonk droid, and then looks like 8D8 and an IG88. So, you know, what's nice about all these artists out there is you might be able to get them commissioned. This is, again, I retweeted it from Star Wars Radar, Alistair Eales, Eales, and you can follow him, and I'm pretty sure I'm following him. If I know I'm following on my personal account, I don't know about the Star Wars Radar. So that hit my radar. That was kind of cool. Not sure where I'd put it. You'd probably end up seeing it like back there, because all my AT-AT driver stuff is kind of concentrated. You can't necessarily see it on this side of the of the video. But I of course my Vader collection kind of creeps in everywhere. But just on the other side there, you can actually in the corner there. That right there. That is an AT-AT driver, and I've got AT-AT driver stuff in and around there. But that right there, that is actually an AT-AT driver. Not lying, not joking. That's where it's at. Let's see here. Do you have a lightsaber collection growing? Which ones do you have? No, Ryan, I'm not a lightsaber collector. I have a few, but they're usually just like knockarounds, toys, or ones that were sent to me. Some of the higher quality ones, but I don't keep track of them outright. I've just stopped getting them largely, minus the one that I got at Galaxy's Edge, the one that has Jedi printed on it. I got that specifically for Jedi. No, I usually they're just toys that I find thrifting. So I couldn't even tell you which ones I have. I like the Blade Builders, what they're trying to do with those. Whether that'll last or not, I don't know. But I find a lot of the lightsaber stuff thrifting. A few are the higher quality Force FX. I never got the Vader one, or did I? Wait, I did get the Vader one. It's leaning up there somewhere. We got a Luke and a Vader, and a Kylo Ren Force FX lightsaber out of the box. Not collectible, really. Jabba's sail barge from Hasbro. I passed on that, Steven. I thought that, you know, as much as it would be amazing, I don't know where I'd put it. It's a big box. The only reason I would have backed the barge would have been specifically for that Yak Face figure. Like, if that was the only way to get the Yak Face figure, I don't know if I could have justified the cost, but I couldn't have justified that cost. I don't think I could have. So I'm glad that they released a Yak Face figure in the vintage collection, because it's pretty much the same minus the actual card. You would want to keep it on card with the coin and I guess a unique cup with that Yak Face. But that to me was the best part of the barge. That's my choice. Now, see, I would have backed it if it came with like 10 exclusive figures. I've been like, okay, I'll find a place for it, you know, or I'll sell it and just keep the figures. Gonk droids are your favorite, Salad Von Bako? Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Gonks are fun. Droids are fun of all kinds. Everyone, I think, has a favorite droid. I don't know. I mean, it'd be hard for me to narrow my favorite. I'd have my favorite Imperial, like soldier, right? The AT-AT driver. But for droids, I kind of go with a CZ7, right? The one that's got, and wait, is it a CZ? Hang on. Is it the CZ droid? Not CZ7. The CZ. Well, I guess 7 would have been one, but a CZ1 is the one that's probably most familiar. The one that's got. I'm gonna have to pull it all up. CZ1. God, there's so many CZ1s. There we go. I'll just pull up the Wikipedia. I'd say this one. If only, I don't know why. I honestly I do not know why. But for some reason, this just always, I always like that one. And it's not like it's been a super collectible item or anything, but it was always the one that was never available, like in the vintage series of figures. But always had it like kind of a unique, like, whoa, he kind of looks crazy. He looks just bizarre, weird, like silly. I don't know. It's always stood out to me. So, but with the droid, honestly, you could ask me tomorrow and I'd be like, oh, I think Chopper's my favorite. And then ask me next week, I'm like, I'm a huge fan of BB-8, So, yeah, I think my favorite droid, I vacillate on that. Chris just sent a photo of Rainbow Vader on Twitter. Progress looks crazy. Well, let's just pull that up, shall we, Heath? I have the power. I have the power. Ooh, wow. Oh, that's cool. Hang on, let me just miss that. So this is what Heath is working on. This Vader, this Rainbow Vader. Oh, so I see. It's the same sculpt as the other Vader. For some reason, I thought it was a Vader helmet. Like a helmet, like just his head Vader. I don't know why. But this is just as cool. The nice thing about this is maybe I can give this to Jedi because it's rainbow color. Look, honey, it's not scary. It's rainbow. 'Cause apparently rainbows aren't scary, but Vader is. Wow, that is pretty neat. That's really unique. What? And it looks like it's a very high resolution that you're printing too. Super high resolution. You know, compared to the low res ones that I have. Like these are, like if you can see like not necessarily just these lines, but if you can see the lines, like it's a lower resolution print. But the less you can see those lines, the higher resolution of print. I've got to stop grabbing these things. Come on, Chris. Don't you move. Okay, it's not gonna move. So thank you, Heath, for sending that over. I also just got a response from the podcast, Around the Galaxy podcast. He's asking if I can go on after the 4th. That's possible. I have not listened to his show. He's asking if I've listened to the show. There's so many podcasts that I've not yet heard. So apparently I'll be doing that with him. I'll pull him on too. I'll say, all right, well then you can come on to the live broadcast and talk to my very small but dedicated community of Star Wars fans about what you're doing and why. See, that's the cool thing I can do now. Like when people invite me onto their Star Wars podcast, I can, basically say, and likewise. Very high, Chris. 0.2 millimeters. Is that about it? I don't know how high 3D printing goes at this stage. Clear Space. Good to see you there on Twitch. I keep pointing to... That's okay. It's not rude to point a Star Wars pen at somebody on a Star Wars show thing. So I'm not being rude. How do I balance work and Star Wars? Do you get a second wind and more energy after work? Some days it's more pent up than others. And even today, it got really busy, and I'm trying to hit 6:30 as the mark for broadcasting. I really am, but like tonight I got caught on another call that was important, and then Jedi wanted to play, so she's the priority. And then before I knew it, I'm like, it's 7 o'clock, hon. I want to get something, done. So 7 o'clock may end up being our time slot as a regular, because I'd rather be consistent with time. I'm also for work at Intel trying to set the stage to do live gaming streams. Most of that would probably not be related to Star Wars, but certainly connecting with the Intel community in a similar capacity. Or trying to. I don't know how well that's going to work. I don't know if it's even going to work every single day. I'm going to try to ramp up to something though. It's easier for me to talk about this than it might be for me to do the video game stuff because I'm not a gamer, which could be part of the charm. Moreover, I'd be looking to do that for a few hours on end versus keeping this to about a half hour. But I balance it in the sense that I know what my goals are. I know what I have to do. I know what I'd like to do. I know what I would like to help Intel achieve, certainly Intel Graphics. And I can tell you that our team is definitely doing the job because just recently one of our VPs announced a feature that the community has been clamoring for a number of years. But Intel and Intel Graphics is the first of the three major brands to have delivered in terms of GPUs, graphics processing units, GPUs, your graphic card, to deliver a certain feature that the wider community has been asking for years. And so we listen to the community, and that's one of the reasons why I like doing what I do, is listening to the community. So I kind of dovetail a lot of it. They're one and the same for me. A lot of what I'll be doing for that, the gaming, even though I will be doing Star Wars gaming, it'll probably be in my personal Twitch channel. One of the reasons why I'm doing Star Wars Radar in a more dedicated channel, because number one, Star Wars is a specific, very specific vertical that is clearly separated from a lot of the personal endeavors. But also, I think that's the best way to use that particular platform from more of a personal perspective. As the Intel have a good community, Chris. Well, 3D printing with Heath, I'm there to try to help, and I'm glad to say that it's making a mark. John Kirby says, should Disney make a Star Wars kids show for either Disney Junior or Disney Plus? They have, kind of. Galaxy of Adventures, even to a certain degree, Forces of Destiny. That's probably about as close as they'll get. Maybe they'll go deeper than that. I mean, I've certainly enjoyed the Star Wars show. It's a great addition to every week. Or at least, pardon me, every week they produce it, because they kind of make you aware of everything that's going on, and really kind of keep you on the edge, producing unique content, providing unique perspectives. And that used to have Rebels Recon, now it's Buckets List. So I think a Star Wars kids show, as deep as they go, is probably going to be in the style of like what they're doing today with Galaxy of Adventures. So 3D printing with Heath. This little group is awesome. Which one? This one? The one we're in? This right here? This very, very tiny, tight-knit group of people? It's awesome to hear. I've got about 3 or so more minutes before I am going to shuffle off as I continue to knock action figures over here. As I mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, I do want to watch or finish maybe 1 or 2 more episodes. I can't remember how many more to go in Good Omens. And then I'm not sure what I'm going to do after that. Then I got to like bounce to another show. Maybe I'll start The Expanse. People have talked about that. Fleabag. That was the... Why did I think Trash Fire? Fleabag. That's the name of the show that I was trying to think of earlier. And then it came to me like, boom, right there. Oh, maybe it is getting late. Oh, you just know, like, there are prime times. Oh, sorry not to make everybody yawn. There are prime times to do things, and when I've broadcast in the morning, even after coffee, like even late morning on the weekends with Jedi, I just have I'm slower. But as I get through the day, I feel like I don't have pent up energy, but I feel I'm more energetic towards the end of the day than I am at the beginning of the day. And maybe it's because I get a little punchy, as I'm starting to wind down, or might be tired. But that for some reason, it's just the way it's always been. John Kirby, if you could start your own Star Wars con, what would it have in feature? Oh, dude, I tried kind of with Galaxar. I ran it 2 times here in the Seattle area, and it was basically a show with vintage and modern toys and collectibles, crafts, in collectibles and in toys, and it was supposed to be a good show for the entire family, and it didn't work the way I tried to get it done. It didn't work. I would have wanted to do nothing but a Star Wars vendor show. The problem with that, I apologize. The problem with that is ReedPop has like the worldwide rights to Star Wars events, so I wouldn't have been able to name it Star Wars. And I could, as long as it was a mix of fandoms, I could get away with it. But I thought about kind of taking another run at it and just letting it be on the hush hush, like, this is a Star Wars show. Even though it's not a Star Wars show, it's Galaxar, and we have vendors of other things, but the primary focus would be just Star Wars stuff. And I have thought about that. I thought, because modern collectibles, vintage collectibles, but basically billing it unofficially as a Star Wars show, or having it be known culturally as like, dude, they have tons of Star Wars stuff there. Always. They always have, and because that's my fandom. And it's a lot of other people's fandom, and that's why I go to those shows. But it can't. The problem is it can't be. I couldn't have called it like Star Scores or something like that. It had to be general, which was disappointing to learn. But that's what I would do, and I've done it. That's how I've. So I believe in trying to make as many of my dreams come true as possible. Part of that is like, well, I've always wanted to do Star Wars content, and I've done it, certainly, but I'm like more regular. I'm like, maybe I should just do a talk show, because I can't really do a podcast as easily, and I like interacting with people live, and maybe we'll just go from there. Whether or not people want that, I don't know, but it'll probably just take time and connecting with the right audience. So one of the things that I want to do, and like I said, I don't know how long, once I've established a pattern with the Star Wars Radar live talk show, I want to bring in like Star Wars Explained or Hello Greedo or other Star Wars content creators. Hello Greedo would be perfect, of course, right? Just his voice, because you wouldn't need to wear the helmet. I'd have to ask him, are you wearing the helmet right now? As you're talking to me, are you on brand, right? Because it'd be cool to have other Star Wars creators on talking in a live way, in a way that they couldn't normally do. Yeah, I think if you want to do something, you should try to do it. Do your best to do something. That's my uplifting remark for the day. So that said, it's a good ending note for everybody. You just picked up DJ Rex Pop on Disney site. I'm gonna pass on the Pop. I'd love it. What I would rather have, I need to go and get the 3 3/4 inch. And they haven't produced new ones. Maybe they will, but certainly the 6-inch DJ Rex would be nice. And I didn't get that set because I ran out of space and budget. But Jen Marie, she'd be another person that I'd like to interview in fandom. She sent, in fact, when I get those, I'm gonna ask if she'll call into the show, and I'll, and we'll get her on to talk about what she does with Across the Stars, and what kind of fan she is, and what she enjoys, what she's been doing recently, her thoughts on things. I'd really like to do that, especially with a live audience. You don't normally see that. First Order Transmissions certainly. Or what used to be the Wolfpack podcast, and Corey, I guess, has stepped down, gave it to Nabil to kind of carry the torch. But I love their live broadcast, their hangouts, or even the Realm recap that Yakface did with Fly Guy. Yakface would be another person I'd love to pull in here. All these ideas, all these plans, I'm just kind of finding my way, but I'm very glad you guys show up just about every night. Sorry I didn't see Cheesy Sword. Okay, 6:30. I'm going to try to make that the time, because I think that's... sorry. Now you get to see some of my clones back there on the window. I've got the webcam set up on as well as the trash from the packaging. The webcam set up on a Darth Vader tumbler, and it works, so that I can get this angle specifically. Thank you for tuning in. I do love you, and I appreciate you tuning in. Bring a friend next time. At this point, I am going to leave you to your own devices. May the Force be with you always.